be careful waking up. What I mean is, there's this term in the world called wake up, right? And it implies that some humans are woke, some humans are asleep. And what are they asleep to? They're asleep that this is a matrix world we live in. The reality that we live in is not actually what it seems like. It's a lot more complex. It's a multi-dimensional reality, I guess. So, as I was sitting here thinking, right, I was thinking about all the knowledge I've gained and how hard it is to generally try to balance the spiritual, psychedelic, and deep knowledge in with physical reality, right? There's humans that gain information about physical reality, how to make money, how to do certain things like that, how to start businesses, how to invest in crypto and all this other things, right? And this is knowledge that I would consider, third dimensional knowledge. But then there is fifth dimensional knowledge, sixth, seventh, eighth dimensional knowledge. And some of that gets mixed into the third dimensional knowledge because certain maths, quantum mechanics, certain things like that can start to blend fifth dimensional, sixth, seventh, eighth dimensional knowledge with this third dimensional world. Because, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of E8. I talk about E8 all the time, but a lot of quantum physicists know what E8 is, but I guess I'm explaining all this because there's so much knowledge in this fucking world that you could literally learn anything and everything. All the knowledge of the universe is out there for humans to gain if they choose to gain it. Whatever your interests are, whatever you're interested in, you can learn. Now, I guess I'm just having an issue with learning how to balance this stuff. Learning how to balance it between the spiritual knowledge, because this is the problem I see in the world. It's humans that get nothing but spiritual knowledge end up just going off to some fucking resort meditating for the rest of their life and like dropping out of the world. It's the whole Timothy Leary tune in, turn on, and drop out thing, right? Take LSD and take psychedelics and you drop out of the world that these humans that don't use psychedelics have created. But truth of the matter is, I think it's about learning how to blend these realities together. The human species has to evolve on a whole level, and I mean evolve the consciousness to the point where it can hold these ideas. It's hard for humans to hold these ideas or believe these things. That's why, it takes time for scientists and mathematicians and all of that to generally get their information out there. Even if it's math or science, humans still don't believe it. I played videos, of people who, like scientists, for people, and people be like, yeah, but, is that really what happened, or did they really do the study, or, is that website really accurate? And humans are so in denial of information that it's like they can't withstand information. Now, this is what I mean by our consciousness has to be prepared to withhold this information. We're not prepared to gently hold the information of the fifth dimension, this dimension, lower dimensions, higher dimensions. The technology is going to keep evolving until humans are living in an insane world that they never thought could be. But this is what is happening. And I'm mentioning all this, right? Because I really wanted to explain that the psychedelic knowledge that I've learned, it really hasn't helped me in my physical world. Very little of it has. So I've been on this psychedelic journey for a long time, 6-7 years now, and it's like I've learned so much, but really, what has it gotten me? I still live in a shitty ass apartment. I still barely got any money. It's still hard for me to do things because I'm trying to walk the fucking teeter-totter of it's the reason why Buddha left his family. Buddha left the riches, left his family, and then went and found enlightenment. I think Buddha was wrong. I think the key, if he could have stayed with his family, learned how to balance the riches, balance the money out, become the next king of India, and change that way of things. Yeah, he became a spiritual leader, whatever, but at the sacrifice of his own son, at the sacrifice of his own marriage. I'm not willing to sacrifice that. Sacrifice, my relationship with my kids that I have, or the relationship with my, woman, or a relationship with the people in my life. So I'm trying to balance things. I do want to own businesses. I tried opening an online business. It failed in 2017, but I'm getting ready to relaunch it again. And this is knowledge that I've had to gain about that. I've had to gain business knowledge, as well as I've been on this journey about gaining spiritual knowledge about who I am. What is death? What is life? Where do I come from? What is the soul? What is the human soul, right? What is consciousness? Where do we come from? What's actually going on? Humans live and they die, but people live and die and still have no idea why they lived. I think there's a purpose. There's something going on. There's a bigger thing happening. And I guess I'm saying all of this information, right? Because maybe it will help someone else. Because I didn't sacrifice 7 years of my life for this shit. And it's not like it's gotten me rich. Let me tell you, I would have been rich if I didn't chase the spiritual knowledge. It's that I have an addiction to wisdom, to knowledge. If I didn't have kids, I could be some homeless guy in the fucking street and be happier than most people in a mansion. Like, genuinely. Because I don't care about that. I really don't. All I really want to do is learn about who I am. And who are you? That is really what matters. Who are you? What's your impact? What's your mind like? And these videos, the books I'm working on, all that is my legacy in a sense. That's kind of what I'm leaving behind. But really what I'm just trying to leave behind is I walked a certain way in life. I went a certain path. I took psychedelics spiritually, and I gained spiritual knowledge from the psychedelics, from DMT, capsule ayahuasca, LSD, MDMA, mushrooms, and 40 other psychoactive plants and herbs, like blue vervain, motherwort, cannabis, a bunch of others. But I guess what I'm saying is I've lived this life, and the only thing it's really helped me with is I could walk outside right out here, right? And I'm down by the river, and I'm just going down here to see the little baby motherworts growing, because there's a giant patch of motherwort that grows over here, some mullein, some blue vervain, some purple dead nettles growing on the hill over there. And it's this is the knowledge that I've gained, that most humans can't walk outside in their own yard, and most humans don't know their herbs in their backyard, like wild lettuce, or some of the first herbs to grow and to come up during the spring. Purple dead nettle, and purple dead nettle can help with allergies and things like that. And I think it's too early for the motherwort, but I can see the motherwort from last year. That's the motherwort from last year. But some baby motherwort growing. But that's what I mean. This is a field of motherwort that I usually hear, and I've got the motherwort starting to grow. Get me a leaf. I like to chew on a motherwort leaf. It doesn't have as much of an effect if you brew a tea with it, but as you can see, it's all starting to grow for the spring. I don't know. I guess something I've come to the understanding of is that sometimes you have to figure out, I guess you just gotta figure out who you are, really. Because who I am, I'm the type of guy that loves to sit down with motherwort and just vibe with her. Connect with Mother Nature, right? That's really why I came out here anyways in the first place. I wanted to make a video, but really I just wanted to, as Ralph Smart says, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. But some real shit. If you're looking for spiritual knowledge, you can find it. It's in the plants. The plants literally are our teachers. DMT was my teacher. Like I said, cannabis, motherwort, blue vervain, mushrooms, capsule ayahuasca, LSD, MDMA. All of these things have taught me many different things. But the one thing that I've realized is there's these things, the plant teachers, the psychedelic teachers, they can teach you ancient knowledge about who you actually are, what's going on, what the universe is, what reality is, dimensions, and all that, right? But if you want to learn how to start a business, if you want to learn how to do YouTube videos, if you want to learn how to buy houses or buy apartments and then become a landlord, or work, even if you just want to learn how to be a manager at a store or things like that, that is going to require you to learn information on your own. There's the information of the third dimensional world, which is up to you to figure out on your own, but the information of the higher dimensional aspect of reality is available as well. It's available. You have to find it on your own. It's just you have to take the plants, sit down, you have to meditate, either have to do yoga, you have to do some type of practice to gain the old information and to gain actual solid spiritual information. But if you just want to learn how to make some money, if you just want to learn how to get a Lamborghini, if that's what's really on your consciousness, then you're better off just like leaving this shit the fuck alone. Swear to God. I think it was Gary Vee that said this shit, but I think Gary was asked about ayahuasca. It was either Gary or Tom. It was one of these entrepreneurs, but was asked about ayahuasca and said that they would never try it because they don't want to sit down and give all their money away the next day when they come down from the ayahuasca. And I thought that was funny, but I thought that was some real advice that humans should listen to. That, like, I don't know. Maybe in a different life, if I never used psychedelics, yeah, I'd be some egotistical guy making a shit ton of money, saying, yeah, I got that money, I got stacks on stacks, all this other shit. I probably would have invested in some drugs or some shit and then fucked my life up from that aspect of things. But instead, right, I decided, let's connect with Mother Nature, go back to what actually is, because the spiritual knowledge only fucks you up and it only confuses you because it's like you understand it's a matrix. Now, you can take Elon Musk's approach, and I don't know if this man's tripped balls or not, but he seems like he has, but like, you can take his approach and use that spiritual knowledge, use the knowledge of the universe that's a matrix to co-create this matrix that we live in, to like he's creating Tesla, like he's creating new technologies to help humans, he's creating SpaceX and new rocket ships trying to go to Mars, like, that's for the advancement of the human species. But that's what you can do with this knowledge. But it's really, really, really hard. It's really hard to balance business knowledge with psychedelic knowledge and applying the psychedelic knowledge to help other humans, because so many spiritual people take the cop-out excuse and say, you gotta work on yourself, man. You gotta work on the self. You can't help anybody. You gotta work on yourself. If you wake yourself up, you wake the world up. And yeah, that's true and all, but you can't just use that as a cop-out to be lazy and to not take the hard work to try to help the human species wake the fuck up. Because, like, it's hard. It's draining. Like, it's fucking exhausting. But, or it's more exhausting trying to explain this shit to somebody than it is to actually gain the information. So, like, yeah, it's gonna be hard. But it's what has to be done, because what else is there to do on planet Earth, right? There's a lot of things going on here. Too much to explain in a video, but it can be understood through experience and through you seeking it. You have to be seeking the knowledge to listen to it, to actually hear it. You have to want to hear it. You have to want to know what the universe is. You have to want to know who you are, why you're here. You have to want to know business to learn business. Like, try teaching business to somebody that don't give a fuck about business. Try teaching math to someone who don't give a fuck about math. Try teaching somebody what this plant is if they don't give a fuck about plants. And that's the issue. That the reason why I guess I'm able to gain this information about these things, these are my interests, right? I'm really actually into psychedelics, plants, Mother Nature, but I'm actually also into business and learning about that, and I want to see what I can do with that, because I can see that businesses are the future of the world. And this is the sad part about the world we live in, but I don't know. It's in I don't know if you guys ever seen the show Futurama, but Futurama has this episode where, like, the hospital, right, because it's set in the future, So the hospital in Futurama is Taco Bell Hospital, because I bet the hospital went out of business, so then Taco Bell had to buy the hospital to keep the hospital in business. And things like that have the possibility of happening in our reality. And I can just see where this world is going. So as I'm paying attention to all this information, I'm keeping track of everything. I'm just trying to balance everything. And I made this video because holy fucking shit, it's hard as fuck to balance everything. That's all. Really, that's why I'm making this video. Because, like, trying to balance it all, the spiritual knowledge with the physical knowledge, with gaining information, and it's hard. That's why most humans just cop out and just go on and live their life. Which is okay. Go on and live your life. Be happy, right? But just know that I feel like there's a reason why humans feel anxiety or feel out of place or go through midlife crises or whatever, and it's because they're not walking in their right purpose, their real purpose. Because if you're walking in your real purpose, like, it's fucking beautiful. It's maddening, it's insane, but it's fucking beautiful. Just like today. It is a beautiful fucking day. Like, look at this. Beautiful. But this video has been kind of everywhere. This is more like a rant, I guess, about information. But the information I've gained has helped me tremendously in my life. Like, I have more peace about death than I do about where I'm going to be living in the next 4 months. Like, I don't know. Because I need to move, and I'm trying so hard to do everything I'm trying to do and start my business and all the shit I'm trying to do in my life. But realistically, man, a part of my soul just wants to go to the jungle and never come back. That's why I understand why hippies just say fuck that shit and they're out. Because, like, they don't want to destroy their self, I guess. When you find yourself, you find your peace, you don't want to interrupt it or ruin it with the old world that you used to be stuck in. So I get it. It's just, I got loved ones that are in this world. And I bet you do too. You know, how many quote-unquote woke humans, right, have family members that are not woke? And that's the way I look at it. They're like, I live the life I live. Really, because, like, one, this is the only life I really want to live. I live it the way I want to live it. But it's mainly, like, to show my children there's another way of living. To show people I know and everyone I know, like, I don't know. It doesn't matter how much money you acquire at the end of your life. It doesn't matter if you have more houses than me, more money than me. Did you have as much fun as me? Did you breathe? Connect with Mother Nature again? Feel alive again? Like, when people walk, do they feel the wind? Like, can you even smell Mother Earth anymore? Or is it just oxygen to you? Yes. I don't know. But, like I said, I can continue this on forever and ever, but really I just want to make this video because this is what was on my mind. That, like, I've been getting all this information, but yeah, it really hasn't helped me in my physical world besides it helped me mentally. I'm more at ease about death. I have no anxiety whatsoever. Like, a lot of people have anxiety disorders and all this. I don't have anxiety. I feel anxious sometimes and then I deal with it when I feel it. Like if somebody's anxious, think about why you're anxious. What are you scared of? What are you thinking about? It's your thoughts that are creating your feelings. So change your thoughts and you'll change your feelings. And that's really kind of what it is. That's why that crazy homeless guy that lives in every fucking city in the world, right? There's a crazy homeless guy that lives in your city somewhere. And I bet that guy is happier than you are. And then there's some homeless people that are fucking miserable because they fucked their life up. But, like, I'm telling you, there's a reason why a lot of hippies say they want to move on a hippie commune, and because once you find your peace, that's that. And then that's why humans, you know, wake up and then they don't want to put the work in to help others wake up. You know, like I said, it goes back to that. you wake yourself up, and then, you know, the rest of the world wakes up once you wake yourself up. But no, I think sometimes that's an excuse, because sometimes people need to be shaken a little bit. Like, I had to be shooken a lot. I smoked N,N-dimethyltryptamine over 500 times, and that shit shook me to my core. Like, to the point where I haven't done it in like a year or two. Because that shit shook me to my core. And like, I probably never really need to do it again. But, you know, I probably will. It's just one of these things that I realized you have to want the knowledge. I wanted the knowledge, that's why I smoked the DMT. I wanted the knowledge, that's why I watch the videos I watch. I do the research I research. I watch videos on how to start businesses, on how to run businesses. I listen to Gary Vee, you know, Grant Cardone, like a bunch of other people. But then in the beginning, before I ever used psychedelics, I listened to Terrence McKenna. And I listened to him talk for like a year straight before I ever used a psychedelic. So like, I guess what I mean is I've always been on this thing where I want to just learn. And I've been on this path of information. But now that I've gained all this information, I sometimes don't know what to do with this information besides talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. So that's why I make so many videos. Because like, shit, what else to fucking do with this information? Maybe this information can help you out, because maybe you're in a better spot in life than I am. Maybe you have more money than me. So if you can get woke as fuck and you got some money in your pocket, do something. Do something that I could have never done. Like, that's some real shit. That's why I fuck with Steve Jobs. Humans that have tripped major balls on psychedelics like LSD and, you know, other psychedelics kind of understand. It's like Steve Jobs took the idea from psychedelic, from LSD, made it into computers. But that's another video that I'm getting ready to make like right now. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Information is dangerous. Be careful. But if you can get it out there right, information can change the world.